Hey guys, I'm Francisco, and this is my YouTube channel. Before I forget, and today's topic is actually going to be one of several building up to 420. Since we're only a few weeks away, I thought that these next few weeks I'd like just focus more on cannabis and its different kind of components and its history and such. So today, I'm actually going to focus on the topic of terpenes. It's been one that's actually been brought up at the store as of late. So I just like decided, I'm like, hey, let's talk about it, all right? So before we get to that, all right, before we get to what are terpenes, where they come from, and what they actually do for us medicinally, let's talk about the weed a day, right? The strain of the day, y'all. It's like, what are you guys smoking today for our round table discussion? I can tell you what I'm smoking. It's called Wedding Crashers. It's actually a cross of Wedding Cake and Purple Punch, two of my favorite strains. So that explains a lot about this one. But before I go on about this, let me tell you where I'm getting this information from. Strainsanity.com. So check them out, y'all. So anywho, like I was saying, this is a cross of Wedding Cake and Purple Punch. Wedding Crashers is a 55-45 sativa hybrid. It's got a great flavor with almost like a little twist of a touch of vanilla at the end. It's got more of a strong grape and vanilla aroma mixed with a little bit of diesel. So that's a little interesting little toss in there. Makes you feel a little giggly, a little giddy, motivated, life of the party. So it makes sense that medicinally it helps you out with depression, anxiety, and social awkwardness. Some people have actually even said that it's good for pain relief and offers a little bit of body warmth. I can't necessarily say I feel the body warmth, but hey, some people have. So just like most sativas, though, it does come with that paranoia factor. So if you smoke too much of it, just know your limits, y'all. It's like I want you guys to enjoy these strains, especially sativas, but know that just be aware of your limits, because I want you guys to have a good time. All right, don't we all? So yeah. Outside of that paranoia, guys, it's just the dry mouth and dry eyes stuff. The typical things that you find in strains, right? So now, before I get to Wedding Cake and Purple Punch, I'm gonna take another hit of a fresh bowl. This is just, by the way, it's very forgetful kind of weed. So I'm sort of glad today's discussion. I sort of have a little bit of an outline, to sort of guide me along this merry trip of ours. So that being said, let's start this trip. So the more I've been smoking this, the more I can get that vanilla sort of like earthy sweetness to it. So definitely get that. So yeah, y'all. So good strain. Don't necessarily feel the dry mouth and dry eyes. It's like my third bowl, so thankfully I'm not necessarily getting affected by any of the negative outcomes just yet. So anywho, guys, let's talk about the cross strains now, Wedding Cake and Purple Punch. Since I've already talked about these in the past, I'm just going to be a little bit brief on these, give you a little bit of the cliff notes. Just so you know, the information that I'm giving you about these strains in particular come from allbud.com. So moving on, Wedding Cake. Wedding Cake is a cross of cookies and cherry pie. It's got more of a cerebral, euphoric kind of high, mixed with a little bit of sedation there. So it helps uplift your spirits. It helps you relieve stress, gives you a little bit of giggles, helps with your appetite and some nausea, but it can also give you a little bit of couch lock. So be wary of that. It's got more of an earthy, piney, spicy kind of taste to it. Again, more dry mouth, dry eyes. What's new? Purple Punch, on the other hand, is going to be more of an 80-20 indica hybrid. It's a cross of Larry OG and Granddaddy Purple. Larry OG is a 50-50 hybrid. Granddaddy Purple is a great 70-30 indica hybrid. A knockout high, euphoric, it allows people to be pretty happy and everything, but at the same time, it does hit you with the want to go to sleep. It doesn't necessarily hit me that hard, but it does hit a lot of other people I know just that hard. So, it makes sense that medicinally it helps treat insomnia, chronic pain, chronic stress, nausea, and depression. It's got more of the blueberry and grapes kind of aroma with a little bit of herbal undertone to it. Same with the flavor. It's more of a sweet vanilla blueberry taste with a little bit of sour candy. I'm still convinced that I still taste a little bit of cherry in the back of it all, in the taste and in the aroma of it all. Now let me know what you guys think. Also, just so you know, it's, again, same culprits. Dry eyes, dry mouth. What's new on that? But these two strains, Wedding Cake and Purple Punch, make this wonderful strain called Wedding Crashes. And if you smoke way too much of this, I think you will forget your name. So, I'm glad I'm just on the third bowl. I had to take a few minute smoke break there for a second. Regather myself. Anywho, let's start talking about those terpenes, y'all. What are terpenes? Where do they come from? And what do they do? And how do they add to our experience, right, as cannabis users? First off, terpenes are components found in several fruits and spices, among other things, that add aroma and taste to a strain. So, for example, when you open up that jar of, let's say, fucking Agent Orange, and you get that orange citrus smell, those are terpenes that you are smelling. That's sort of adding to that experience. But not only do they add flavor and taste to them, to the strain, they also have medicinal benefits. And so, since there are around 140-ish kind of terpenes found in cannabis, I'm just going to focus today on the top 5 that I've sort of seen more in the products and the strains that we sell, and a plus one. So let's get to it, y'all, right? But should we just have one more? Dare I say one more smoke break? I think so. Like I said, this is actually a really good strain. Very smooth. Don't get too much of the dry mouth or anything. I say that as I drink some water. But anywho, all right. So y'all, let's move on to the top 5 terpenes. Number 1, and also before I forget this part, I'm going to be telling you guys the top 5 terpenes plus one, and some strains that accompany them. Just so you know, the information about the terpenes that I'm telling you actually come from one website, medicaljane.com. However, plot twist, the strains that I'm going to be connecting with said terpenes actually come from another website, euphoriawellnessmd.com. Like I said, there's a really informative little session we're having today, so I had to gather information from a variety of different sources. So yeah, there you have it, guys. So now, back to the top 5. Number 1 in all this, myrcene. Myrcene is actually the most commonly found terpene in the whole bunch. It's got more of the musky, earthy, and herbal aroma smell, something like cloves almost. What's it found in? It's found in hops, citrus fruits, bay leaves, eucalyptus, wild thyme, lemongrass, among others. What are some of the some of the medicinal properties of it? Right? It's forgive me because I know I'm probably gonna butcher this word. Analgesic. Anti-inflammatory, antibiotic, anti-mutagenic, and has also been shown to help those with suffering from peptic ulcers. However, did you guys notice that I also said that myrcene is found in hops, right? It is known to have a sedative property, and so a good example that I give people is with hops and beer. So if you drink an IPA or 2 IPAs, you get that body just couch locked, that, I just want to sit down and just sit here. That most likely comes from the myrcene found in the hops. The same applies for the flower, for myrcene found in flower. That it gives you that same kind of strong sedative body high. And that's why you tend to find them mostly in indica and indica-leaning strains. If you want to try a little experiment for you on this one particular terpene, grab yourself a ripe mango if you eat mangoes. Eat that whole thing about half hour, 45 minutes before smoking a strain high in myrcene. After doing all that and smoking that strain, you're supposed to experience a much better high. I have not tried this myself, so I can't tell you from firsthand knowledge, but it's one of those, it's the myrcene found in the mangoes combines with the myrcene found in the strain is supposed to really augment your high. So if you ever want to try something, try that. But now, what kind of strains have high amount of myrcene if you want to try this mango trick? Some would be Agent Orange, Jelly Bean, ACDC, Critical Kush, and Kosher Tangy. So yeah, guys, if you guys want to try out that mango experiment, try out those strains and let me know how it is, all right? I'm yet to try it. I don't know why. Anywho, let's move on to the second one now. The second one is going to be limonene. Limonene has a bit of a citrus aroma to it. It's more for uplifting your mood, to sort of just raise the attitude a little bit. It's found in citrus fruit rinds, rosemary, juniper, peppermint, and other pine needle oils. It's its best medicinal property is actually an antifungal property that it has. It's also been shown to possibly be ideal for, or be beneficial for treating certain forms of cancer. And also, one more thing to add on to this, a lot of alsos on this terpene. So but yeah, one more thing to add there would be it's good for promoting healthy weight loss. So yeah, interesting little facts there about limonene, right? It's actually one of my favorite kind of tasting terpenes. I also like it because of the healthy weight aspect of it all. Limonene itself actually helps you out with gastrointestinal issues as well. So if you have an upset stomach or something, smoke something high in limonene. That might help you out some. It helps me. So, funny enough, talking about smoking or dabbing it is the best way to absorb it in your system. You can absorb it in any other ways, like edibles and such, but inhaling it directly, but via smoke, or like via just like ignition, that is the ideal way of taking it. So, yeah, a little trivia there for you, right? Some strains that are high in limonene would be Jack the Ripper, Jack Hare, OG Kush, Girl Scout Cookies, Wedding Cake. So, yeah, there you have that, right? Sorry, there's that forgetfulness coming in on that strain. Now, I tell you what, this is it's a wonderful strain, but does not help you get your ducks in a row. Thank God for an outline, right? So, anyways, let's move on to number 3, guys. Number 3 is pinene. As in the name, it smells more like pine and fir trees. It is an important component of pine resin, and it's found in balsamic resin, pine woods, and some citrus fruits. An interesting fact about pinene is that pinene is actually almost like a parental terpene to some other terpenes, such as limonene, right? So limonene came from pinene. So that's another little fact, an interesting little fact to throw your way, right? Pinene itself, as with its medicinal properties, serves more as a anti-inflammatory assistance, I guess you could say. It's an expectorant, bronchodilator, and antiseptic. It has been used for years in traditional Chinese medicine to treat certain kinds of cancer. So I actually, I'm a fan of pinene. There's another one too. I'm not exactly the fan of the taste. I just like the medicinal anti-inflammatory properties. There is another terpene on the top 5 that I'll mention that I'm also a fan of for the same reason. The medicinal, not so much the taste-wise. But where can you find this pinene and be your own judge on this one? Some strains would be OG Kush, Trainwreck, Strawberry Cough, Green Lantern, and 9-Pound Hammer. Now, before I get to the 4th one, I'm going to need a little bit of herbal courage here, because I'm sure I'm going to... It's like this one's a little bit of a tongue twister for me. So, let's all take one more smoke break, y'all. Shoot. Okay. Drum roll, please. The next terpene, number 4 on the list, is called linalool. Linalool. It's a little hard for me to pronounce, but there you have it. It is it's known for its more floral and lavender kind of aroma, and its calming and relaxing effects. It's actually used more, it would make sense, more for sleep aid and to help actually temper back the effects of THC. So if you're having like too much anxiety from a certain strain, if linalool is found in that strain, or if you take a strain with a little bit higher amount of that might actually help temper the effects of it for you. It has shown signs that it may help reverse Alzheimer's, and that it also may help reduce lung inflammation due to smoking. So, for example, for me, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I still smoke weed. No matter how organic it is, if you're smoking a joint, you're smoking flower out of a bowl, you're still inhaling smoke. So, signs of helping reduce that kind of potential lung inflammation is a win for all of us. So, yeah. So, there you have it, guys. What are some strains you can try out this one to test out its own calming effects and everything? Lavender Kush, Amnesia Haze, LA Confidential, The Loops, and Ninja Fruit. Now, number 5. Number 5 is the one that I was telling you guys about that I sort of enjoy due to its medicinal aspects, and not so much the taste, and you'll see why. There are a few ways of how to pronounce this one. I prefer to say caryophyllene. I have also had it said to me called caraphyllene. I like caryophyllene personally, so we're going to stick with that one. Where is it found in? It's found in Thai basils, cloves, cinnamon leaves, black peppers, and small amounts of lavender. It's known more for its peppery, woody, spicy aroma and taste. Like I said, not a huge fan of the taste itself. It scratches the back of my throat. But here's the big property that I like about it. It is good for anti-inflammatory issues, and also just pain reception. It has shown some signs of possible use for cancer treatment as well. For myself, the anti-inflammatory properties is where it's at for me. So those who suffer from something from let's say arthritis or fibromyalgia, something like that, this might be a terpene to sort of be mindful of, right? One little piece of trivia for this particular terpene, or caryophyllene, it is actually the only terpene that interacts with the endocannabinoid system. What is the endocannabinoid system? That is another story for another day, which will definitely be part of the build-up of 420, so stay tuned on that one. What are some strains that you can find caryophyllene in? Would be Green Lantern, 9-Pound Hammer, Star Dog, Black Cherry Maduro, and Confidential Cookies. Now, these are the top 5, right? But there's a close one to the group that I had to include due to its Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of situation. What is that one? What is the +1? This +1, by the way, all the information I'm giving you for this one comes from weedmaps.com. It is called terpenylene. It is found in sage and rosemary, used mostly in soaps and perfumes in the States. It has more of a herbal and floral kind of aroma, orangey, lemony kind of flavor to it. Its medicinal properties would be said to be antifungal, antibacterial, sedative for anxiety issues. That in itself is where the plot twist is, because a lot of sativas that are high in terpenylene sometimes tend to cause anxiety. So how does that, I don't know how that all correlates, how that all connects, but it shows you the complexity of what's involved in a strain of cannabis. It's not just a one factor thing. It's just all part of a bigger puzzle. So it's, but that is a pattern that has been noticed, that high strains of terpenylene, or high amounts of terpenylene in a strain, and a sativa strain tend to sometimes cause anxiety. So that, even though sedative in nature, why does it do that? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a mystery for another day. If you guys want to try this out, see how it affects you, though, here are some strains: Royal Jack Automatic, Super Lemon Haze, and Pineapple Kush. So there you have it, guys. This is just, terpenes are just one piece of the bigger puzzle that is cannabis. And like I said, it's 420 is a couple weeks away, so I want to take this opportunity to sort of just inform and just give perspective and hopefully bring others aboard too, to just discuss cannabis and all its different components and how it affects us and how it can affect everybody else and stuff. So if you guys have enjoyed this, I appreciate you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much. If you guys want to leave any comments or anything, please feel free to comment below. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on Instagram, Shaggy Adventure. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed telling you. Like I said, this is 3 bowls in, so yeah, I'm in a good place, and I hope you are too. That being said, guys, I hope that this finds you happy. I hope this finds you well, and I hope most importantly that this finds you blessed.